Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, the 24th day of February. It's National Tortilla Chip Day today. That's the only thing on the calendar, Tortilla Chip Day.
That's it, huh?
What is the best thing in your mind to put on tortilla chips?
Oh, spinach artichoke dip.
Not for me.
Yum.
I think just melted cheese is good. Or it's good if you put tortilla chips in chili. Like you make a chili that's good with that.
Yeah.
That's good. So if we're going to celebrate National Tortilla Chip Day, we got to do it right. Also, it is a Monday, and it's a movie star Monday. Super excited to visit with a young lady. You definitely know her name, at least her last name. And I'll tell you the first name, too. It's Taylor Hasselhoff. She goes by Tay-Hasselhoff. Her dad is David Hasselhoff. She's been in several movies. She's been in Sharknado. She's been in a movie called Sunken City, a TV program, Young and the Restless, More Than Puppy Love, Baywatch TV series, and then she played herself in a whole bunch of stuff. She's got a new TV program coming out called Listing Impossible. Actually, I shouldn't say coming out. It's out, and she's a real estate agent now. So we're going to chat with her all about that in just a bit.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A new survey found that 7 in 10 Americans hide unhealthy eating habits from their partners. Why are you pointing at me?
Yeah.
Heidi caught me hiding food in the garage one time.
Food in the garage.
We're on a diet. I was so hungry. I was like, you know what? I'm going to sneak this out here. And I was waiting for Heidi to leave, and then she didn't leave. And I was like, hey, you got to go somewhere, don't you? She's like, no, why? Fine, I'll
Because I have food hidden in the
I've got
garage.
food cooling off in the garage. I'm going to go grab that. So, I have a problem. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At BetterCreditCards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. A Florida man and his furry accomplice were taken into custody by authorities when they say the man shoplifted from a store. He was arrested and charged with petty theft and possession of meth. He admitted to stealing $259 worth of items from Bass Pro Shops. Arrested during a traffic stop, he was seen leaving the store, and his four-legged friend and he were both taken into custody.
Aw, but the dog didn't do anything.
Well, the officer's Facebook post shows one of the officers holding a small puppy. They said he was the cutest accomplice ever. Anyway, they took him to animal services to care for the puppy dog while his human friend was going to jail for a bit. They say that if the owner does not claim the dog, it will go up for adoption. So, and they already have a list of people who pre-adopted it. They're like, I call that dog.
I want that.
I want the dog.
I'll take it.
So I've got a link to the story. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Netflix has a new show called Love is Blind, where couples get engaged without ever seeing their partner's face. Have you seen any of the previews for this?
No.
The premise of the show has them sitting in an office-style cubicle, and they can talk back and forth, but they can't see one another. They're flirting to the person next to them. And then the big reveal, they meet, and then it's either love at first sight or it's not, but it's called Love is Blind. And it's on Netflix. Former White House press secretary Sean Spicer is launching a new political talk show on Newsmax. So good for you, Mr. Spicer. I hope that all goes well. Showtime announced that Ray Donovan will get the proper ending. The show was unceremoniously canceled last week, but they're saying, okay, we're going to have like a finale.
What is Ray
just
Donovan?
It was a TV show on Showtime.
Okay.
So there you go. Now you know.
Did you ever see it?
We don't have Showtime. When would I have ever seen it?
I don't know what we're
I
talking
just
about.
read the story. I know.
All right.
Let's move on. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. A Chicago couple who were treated for coronavirus have made a full recovery. That's good news.
Good.
So it's good to know that if you have coronavirus, you can get better. A group of daredevils in Dubai, which is just fun to say. Say daredevils in Dubai.
Daredevils in Dubai.
Yeah, they're known as Jetmen. They've unveiled a vertical takeoff
Ooh, I think
jetpack.
Jetman sounds cooler.
Yeah. They've unveiled a vertical takeoff jetpack that allows humans to fly like Iron Man.
Ooh.
Ready for this?
No.
I was just reading
We
a
haven't
story.
even mastered driving a car
No.
yet.
I just read a story about several reports of people saying, hey, there was a drone flying right outside my window.
Right.
Like, so there's drones and people are freaking out about that. Imagine if a dude in a suit
Right.
could be floating out your window. I mean, that's even weirder. So I don't know. I don't know that we're ready for that. A video of a Michigan woman who flew her mini service horse on first class on a flight to Dallas has gone viral. If you haven't yet had a chance to see that, I have a link to that story. It says Taylor Swift's father fought off an intruder who broke into his Florida penthouse before police arrived and arrested the man. So this all happened like a week ago. That's kind of scary.
Yikes.
And Princess Diana's former chef says the princess overcame bulimia before her death.
That's good for her.
What do you mean, good for her?
Good for her for overcoming it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know
That's
that.
a good thing.
Did you know that she even was dealing with that?
I can imagine that the stress that you deal with being in the public eye would force you
to want to make sure you look good.
want to constantly be losing weight. So I could
yeah.
absolutely see how
Hey.
you would be
Yeah, that's
resorting
not the
to that
answer.
sort of
Yeah,
thing.
Certainly. Well, I'm sad to hear she was even
I
dealing with
fortunately don't have to deal with that in radio,
Yeah, it's like-
which is why I've never turned to television.
That's why, as you're talking, I'm eating a jelly donut, so I'm just telling you this. We don't apparently pay attention to that. And another story here, a video of a Georgia man who used a shopping cart to take down a shoplifter who was being chased by police out of a Home Depot has gone viral. That's pretty cool. Hey, would you stop somebody if you saw...
Yes.
See, and I had a chance. I had no clue what was going on until they were past me, though. I was coming to a bridge, and like this guy was stopped on the bridge and a policeman behind him. And I stopped because the police officer had his lights going. So I stopped. I was like, I don't know if I can make it through. And then the guy took off and drove past me. And then the policeman went past me. And I was like, maybe I should have blocked him or something. And then I even said something to the police officer. I was like, hey, sorry I didn't block him. He's like, no, that would have been a bad idea. He would have just hit you. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, maybe it was good that I didn't know what I was doing. Elton John needed to be helped off stage in New Zealand last week due to pneumonia. He wasn't feeling well. That's not good. And then one last story here. This is sad. A new lawsuit is accusing Jewel of buying vaping ads on Nickelodeon to target kids. I hope that's not true.
I'm
but they're
sure it
saying,
is.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm
That's
sure
a
it's true.
It's a bad idea. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
It's another Movie Star Monday, and today our guest is Tay-Hasselhoff. You might know her from several different movies she's been in, like Sharknado and a bunch of other fun stuff. A lot of TV shows as well, and I'm sure you know her dad, David Hasselhoff. Now she's a realtor and has a program called Listing Impossible, but this was kind of inspired by something that happened to your mother, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's kind of a weird, crazy story, but I want to say 8 to 9 years ago, she was moving from the Hollywood Hills. She had a beautiful house up there, but was ready to get into a one-story home rather than a three-story home. She's going to have grandbabies one day. And so we were getting her into this beautiful house. She's super excited. The day that she actually moved into escrow, which I was with her, I moved into the house after escrow was closed, the city came to her and said, you have a chemical gas line underneath the property, and half of your house has been built unpermitted. You're going to have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars in fines, and it was a complete disaster. And so I couldn't believe that we didn't know anything about this during the 30-day due diligence period. And we ended up finding out that the agent knew about this, but didn't tell us. We were out of town, and he actually called us on the phone to talk about the inspection. And it was really kind of a heartbreaking situation to see your mother kind of go through this process where she was super excited and just her dreams just taken from her. And that really sparked my interest into real estate. And the only reason being is I feel like I want to know everything. And I've done so many different professions in my life that I kind of accumulated over the years, giving me different type of skills, I think, for real estate. And I reached out to so many different agents, so many different broker groups. How can we get her out of this situation? Why does she have to pay all this? And found this wonderful man, and he helped get her out of the situation. Granted, it still was a lot of stress and blood, sweat, and tears, but we were able to move her back into her other house and close that chapter. That during that time, I really kind of fell in love with the real estate world and learning how to help people in the highest regard. I've been born and raised in LA. I've lived all over, in all different parts. So I'm very familiar with, most areas in LA. And I really wanted to be that real estate agent that people can rely on and trust. And my network is so vast, just from so many different things I've done over the years. But the minute that I got into it, God, the amount of calls I got from people, knowing that I just, I'm in real estate as of maybe a day, would call me, I have a horrible agent, or, this agent ruined this experience for me. And all these stories kept coming up. And that's kind of how I got my business going, is these people really didn't feel they could really trust their agent, or something would happen. And I kind of was the girl that they knew over the years they really trusted, and was always super sweet to everyone that I encountered or I worked with. And that kind of got the ball started for me pretty quickly. And now I'm here on Aaron's team, and we have a show, and it's been awesome. It's been an incredible ride, and I couldn't be more honored and blessed to be a part of such a great team of some awesome real estate agents and people. And
the thing that's cool, when people tune in, they'll get to see you working with a lot of fun people and some famous people. As a matter of fact, there's even one episode where your father is looking at homes. What was it like working with your dad like that?
I think it's awesome when you work with your family, because it's a very honest conversation. Most of my clients become like family and friends after the 30-day process, or even longer, when looking for properties. And so that you kind of feel like you get really close to people really quickly, and it's a really awesome experience. And I think with my dad, the cool part about it was he's brutally honest with me. We'll pull up to the house, he's like, I hate it. It's just like, are you sure you don't want to go inside? No, I hate it. We got to go. And I'm like, okay, fine. Whereas I think if it was my clients, like, I think we should go inside, and I think some clients or people I've worked with wouldn't want to be so blatant and honest. But it really makes the process a little bit better when you are honest, because we need to get the process going, and it can take a lot of time. So I think for working with my dad, it's been a super fun experience. He travels all the time. He works his butt off. And so I think for him, it's been difficult. Also for me, when he gets back into town, we really have to carve out some time to see properties and make it serious, because he'll be here for a couple of days, and he bounces back to wherever he's going and works and comes back. So it's been fun and very honest, and I never would have thought that I'd be showing my dad houses one day, but here we are, and it's turning into me becoming the realtor of all my family. I mean, every aunt, uncle, cousin has been calling me like, hey, I need help with this, that, and the other, so it's been actually pretty fun.
That's really cool. Now, you're working with Aaron, and he's made a name for himself as being a pretty darn successful realtor there in Los Angeles. Everybody that tunes in will get a chance to not only see what you do, but what everybody in the office does. It's kind of like a peek behind the scenes as a day in the life of a realtor.
Absolutely. I think we're in episode 6 this week. So this will be the 6th week that it's been running. They're each an hour long. It's a really very informative show. We wanted it to be a show that's more business related, that you can actually learn something from. So if you're looking to or get the process started of you selling your property, and you don't know if you should change the light fixtures or you should paint the inside to the cream versus the yellow or whatever, your brain's thinking, it's kind of a cool show to maybe tune into, because you do see these people that put a lot of money into their properties, and there's people that go, screw it, my house is perfect the way it is, I don't want to put any money into it. So you kind of see our reaction of, well, if you did X, Y, and Z, you would walk away with X, Y, and Z. So we kind of let the viewers feel like they're watching, the beginning of somebody getting ready to launch their property, and what hoops and ladders you got to go through and climb up to get your house sold for the highest value possible. And this week you will see me and my dad during this process as well, and kind of going through the hoops and ladders of what it's like to be also a buyer in this industry. And very competitive out here in LA. It's now becoming more of a buyer's market, which is awesome for me. I love working with buyers. It's one of my favorite things to do. I have a lot of people from out of town that will come to LA, know nothing about LA, and I kind of get to be that tour guide of, well, what are you looking for? Really, what are your wants and needs deep down? Is it for your family? Is it just for you? And do you want to be around a lot of people? Do you want to be hidden away? What is your idea property? And I get to be that tour guide and show them different areas, and they really trust me to find that perfect city or that perfect part of LA that they can call home. And you'll see a little bit about that this week as well, too.
Well, Tay, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us today.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Again, Tay-Hasselhoff, and the TV show is called Listing Impossible, and we're going to make it really possible to find it. I've got a link to all of the info in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you have a lucky shirt? FunkyMonkeyShirts.com has several lucky shirts to wear next month for St. Patrick's Day. Or if it's a really lucky shirt, you can wear it every day. Green shirts, four-leaf clovers, Irish sayings, and more. Don't wait. If you order your lucky shirt right now, it can be here in time to wear for St. Patrick's Day. Find t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, and more at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Dinosaurs lived on every continent. Back in their day, they lived all over the earth, including Antarctica. The reason we only find their bones in certain places, though, is the weather and the soil conditions in those places were just right for the bones to be fossilized. Scientists also speculate there may have been smaller-sized dinosaurs that we know nothing about because their bones were too small to fossilize.
Ah,
there you
see,
go.
That's interesting.
It is. It's today's fun fact.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline, China. You're never going to guess what we're talking about.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, but it's an interesting story today. Chinese officials say they had to destroy $600 million in cash to stop it from spreading coronavirus because it was like infected money. So this cash... Well, the cash had the coronavirus on it, so like,
okay.
Here's what I think really happened. I think that there was somebody there who was like, "Oh, this cash is."
I don't know how they would know which bills had coronavirus. I think
just,
that's a bunch of malarkey.
I think they just took it all and they're like, "Hey, we're burning it," and they're really just like
this
burning
had coronavirus
old
on it.
magazines from the lobby.
I don't think
like,
so.
Yeah, we just burned. How much did you burn? Oh, $600 million. Don't look for it though, because we burned it all. Yeah, I'm sure there's something fishy going on there. This has been a news headline from somewhere in this world.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A New Jersey woman was arrested after police say she stole over $500,000 from a church to pay for her wedding. What kind of wedding was this?
Boy.
43-year-old Tasha.
Ice wedding.
Yeah, Tasha D. Smith DeJoseph was a volunteer at St. Paul's Baptist Church in Florence Township. She oversaw their finances from 2014 through 2019. She allegedly embezzled over $561,000 from the church, opening an electronic bank account for the church and using the money. Police say she used the money to pay for car loans and rent and credit card expenses, satellite TV, cell phone bills, and for
it wasn't
her
just
wedding.
her wedding.
Yeah. Officials added that she never filed income tax returns from 2014 to 2018 in a way to hide her crimes. So it didn't work, by the way. She did get caught in New Jersey there, and things are not going so great for her. We'll put it that way.
Listen up, people. If you're thinking of getting married, don't spend a bunch of money on your wedding. It's ridiculous. It does not guarantee a long...
No.
What was our wedding? $200, right?
No. So spend
$200.
Spend more time on the marriage and less money on the wedding, and everybody will be
And
happier.
we've been married 20 years.
20 glorious years.
20 glorious years.
Thanks for listening. This has been today's Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh, brought to you by SingleStudentLoan.com. A Washington state driver is facing a hefty fine after being caught using a highway carpool lane with a giant stuffed dinosaur as his passenger. Yeah, that's a no-no.
It's a passenger.
No, it's not. He was in the HOV lane. You know what it stands for? I just learned this. High Occupancy Vehicle Lane. I had no idea. Had no clue what that was. I asked a passenger in a vehicle when we were recently on a little trip where we used an HOV lane. I was like, what does that even stand for? And instantly, he said, High Occupancy Vehicle.
Yeah, he knew.
Really?
He knew.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So now I do. Anyway, he said he was driving with this little dinosaur thinking that maybe that was going to help. It didn't help. He got a $186 fine, by the way.
$186 really isn't that bad when you consider all the time you save by driving in that lane. How many times do you drive in that without getting caught?
Yeah, I said, he could be. They could have an additional $200 fine tacked on top of it. So $386.
Okay.
Now, all
Even
of a sudden,
still,
it's not, you just...
I've driven in that traffic. It's totally worth $386. I'm just saying.
Just get a friend. Get a friend to go with you. That's
it's better to bring people with you. Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to your
in
moment.
a pinch, a dinosaur might
No,
be
it
fun.
won't do. Thanks for listening to your moment of duh.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, fake news or Florida? This is the portion of the program where I read a little story, and my beautiful bride, Heidi, over here, has to guess if this is a true story from the great state of Florida or if it's fake news made up to trick her and amuse me. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Fake news or Florida? An adult film star was arrested for impersonating a police officer when he inadvertently drove home from the office in a police outfit.
Oh, I'm going to say Florida.
Florida. No, it's actually fake news. But you know what?
I could see that happening, though, pretty easily.
I just want to say thank you to the person who sent that, because that was a pretty one. That's a pretty tricky one.
That's a good one.
But, you know, if you think it through...
Probably not Florida. I would say California.
No, I'm saying, if you think it through, though, when they're done filming, they're probably not wearing any costume. So that's probably the folly of your ways there. Just saying. You know, I don't know.
It might have been the first day of filming, and he just knocked on the door and said, hey, there's a noise disturbance.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. We'll see you guys here tomorrow.
I doubt it. Thanks for listening to Fake News or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. And guess what, Heidi? I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Here's the headline. Scientists and refugees are growing crops in the desert using discarded mattresses bound for the landfill. I think it's a really good idea.
How does that work?
So what they do is they take this mattress that they're going, okay, what do we do with this? Instead of just throwing this thing away, they put seeds inside of this dirty old mattress, and then they bury the dirty old mattress in the ground. And then guess what? All the stuff that's in there, tomatoes and peppers and some other things, aubergines, I don't even know what that is, and other herbs, they can grow them in the desert using these discarded mattresses. And it's helping millions of people thrive in barren landscapes. So they're testing this right now at a refugee camp in Jordan, but they're saying it's going well. If it goes really well, they think that they could utilize this all over the place. In addition to that, I see some other little things that they've put together here. I'm trying to figure out what this is.
So this is in land that other things wouldn't have grown normally?
Yeah, typically.
So what is it? All the nasty bacteria that's in the mattress is going to make this stuff grow?
It's just there's stuff in there that, is a biodegradable.
Yeah.
It's a biodegradable
It's a
product.
little concerning.
Well, I'm sure it's...
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's probably skin cells from us.
Ugh.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Ugh.
I'm just saying. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it.
Buy local.
Yeah.
Buy local.
Anybody want a mattress tomato?
A mattress tomato.
I don't know.
It's got a little wang to it.
Wow. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I have a link to this story. It's in the show notes. You need to stay off that cough syrup. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.